Hey guys, this is Sham from HealthTech, and today I have a few of my friends from YouTube right here. So let's get started.
Hey guys, this is me Gaming Wine here, and this is my live streaming. So I have got another friend here, Sham Eltek from. So I have one more friend that's Faisal, so meet him up there.
Fast Tech, Fast Tech, Fast Tech seems to have frozen, and let's get started. So today we're gonna okay. Fast Tech seems to have dropped the call. We have been experiencing a few technical difficulties. Just hold on one second. It will not take long. So Fastech seems to have got some technical difficulties right now. So we'll uh,
So let's start. By the way.
so let's get started. The most hot topic right now is Google Pixel, as we all know it. So Vineet will tell you a lot more, and we might debate about it later. Go on,
Yeah.
go on.
So Google Pixel is a very good phone. It is really launched by Google, which is very. If you're gonna get it, it's gonna get it for $725. For it's a pretty good phone if you ask me. But there are a few qualities which I mainly like of the Google Pixel. That is, they have 4 GB RAM and expandable to 32 GB. That's pretty cool. And it's a 5-inch screen, pretty good. And it has 12.3 megapixel camera front side, and it's a Snapdragon 621. Oh my God, it's better
So,
than the Redmi Note
so what
3.
do you so
It's
what do you
better
think?
than.
So what do you think? The previous years, Nexus used to be such a low-end device with such less, I mean, such a good features, and they just hyped up the price so much. Why do you think that's happened? And why is Google trying to make new stuff by killing Nexus?
Actually, Nexus is a very good phone if you ask me, because Nexus it is having a Android N. That's a Android
Yeah,
7.0,
I use a
which is.
Nexus 6. I use a Nexus 6P right now, and it's working flawlessly. I just got a Google Android 7.1 like security update today morning, and there was nothing much, but it has few features that's really good, like the multitasking and let's say, and then like the shortcut app shortcut. These are really good features which we all can appreciate. Why not just bring them to a next? Why not just bring them to a Nexus? Why a whole new phone and a whole new stream of phones?
Actually, Google wanted to launch this phone before the Nexus 6P, but what it was is Google has launched after the Nexus 6P, because Google had some plans, pixels of launching that. So, and it's a pretty good phone if you ask me, but it's you can't compare to Nexus. But Google is a pretty good Pixel is a very quite good phone if you ask me, and it is a Snapdragon 621. That's awesome. That's more than a Redmi Note 3 if I say. So then it is a pretty good phone, and it is a quad core processor, and internal storage is 32 GB, almost like a Redmi Note 3. Shyam, how much is the Nexus 6P? It's also 32 GB, right?
Yeah, so the Nexus 6P, I have the 120, sorry, the 64 GB, and it has
Yeah.
3 GB of RAM, and it has like what a quad octa-core processor. It's really fast and it still doesn't lag. It works flawlessly. I don't know
and
why. So
And even Google Pixel.
Can you?
Hello,
I've been.
hello, Aztec. Come on, join us. Join on the call. The video started. Video started. Come on. Video started. Come
We've
on.
been experiencing a couple of issues
Video
like
started.
all the time. I'm so
No, you come on the
sorry.
video.
So I'm going to send Fayaz a
Come on
link.
the video. Come on the Hangouts video.
So yeah,
Dude, wait, wait a second. Dude, go back and come again.
can you tell Fayaz to cut the call and check his email? Because I sent him a link to the video, to the live stream.
Yeah, Sham, tell me.
So yeah, so my Nexus 6P has really good features. So the Pixel has only 1 GB of RAM more than my phone, and my phone's running flawlessly. And let's say I have a Nexus 6P and a Google Pixel. So what's the difference between them? Okay, 4 GB variant is also there, but
But there is also a 128, what is that, storage of Google Pixel also is there, 128 GB, which is good, right?
yeah,
Awesome.
128 GB is really good. So, what about regular people? Nexus used to be affordable by every single person, as like until the Pixel came out. Once the Pixel,
And one more, Sham, in this Google Pixel, they have launched Android Nougat 7.1 version, which is pretty cool.
so yeah, I got the Android Nougat 7.1.1 like few weeks ago before the Pixel. Anyway, so I had it before, so there was not much difference. So the only thing the Nexus is deprived of is the assistant. So if we get the assistant, it'll be as good as getting everything. So it's just a software that varies, and the Daydream is not compatible with Nexus, but some people like try rooting it and all the kind of process, but it leads to the phone getting heated up, and you cannot risk it when it's in front of your eye, like right there, and it might explode. So
But
that's
Nexus
one thing.
6P is a pretty good phone. But the Google Pixel, what they're trying to do is they want to just make a brand phone of a Google. Still now there's no brand phone of Google, right? So they wanted to make a single phone out of a Google. That's the main intention, maybe, of
Yeah,
creating a phone.
the Google Pixel is mainly made by HTC and Google. So Google did not put a price, did not put the name of HTC on it. Just like uh,
What happened?
so Google did not put a price on the Nexus. Like did not put the price on the HTC. They just like randomly put their name up as Google Pixel, not Google
Yeah,
HTC, or just Google HTC. So
yeah.
if the Nexus line was still up and running, if the Nexus line was still up and running, we would have had a Nexus HTC Nexus,
Oh,
or
Fast
that's
Tech is with us, guys. Fast Tech which is
Fastech
with
Hey
us.
guys,
suppliers.
I'm
So
Faz from FastCheck.
Yeah, dude. Come on, tell me the best features of your the best feature which is running now, iPhone 7.
Now, what iPhone 7 has got here is the best thing here. They have only lightning connections.
Yeah.
if anyone, if anyone of you have been streaming the video, can you just cut it off?
Yeah, then tell me, iPhone 7s has very nice qualities, right? It has
Yeah,
a fingerprint sensor and
yeah,
And
it's already launched like in the September, we've seen. But because of Google launching its own phone without collaborating with another company like LG or Huawei like they did previously, the sales of iPhone 7 has gone down like very drastically.
yeah, so iPhone 7 is like a really good phone. The camera's
Yeah,
debatable,
everything.
and the chip. And what do you think of the exploding problem? The
Like
iPhone in like some place exploded. What do you think about that?
iPhone has a 12 MP camera and it has like 1.3 sensor size and it can record 4K videos plus it has an 8 MP image recording. So
Yeah, so
that's pretty good features in
the
that.
optics are really good in the iPhone 7,
Yeah,
7
the
Plus.
video recording is at 2160p at 30 fps.
Yeah, so 30 frames per second and 4K
Yeah,
is awesome. And
it's
Google
amazing.
Pixel, it's rated the best phone for the camera. What do
Yeah.
you have to say about that? iPhone does not have that much stabilization as Google.
No,
I've been watching a lot of videos lately, like comparing the camera between the iPhone 7 and the Google Pixel. The Google Pixel really does a good job. The video
that's
stabilization, the
that's
clarity,
what I
the highlights are all amazing. What do you have to say about
yeah,
that?
that's what I was saying you. Because of Google launching its new phone, people have stopped purchasing iPhone 7
Yeah. So yeah. So why do you think people have stopped? Why do you think people are switching?
because the main reason right here is Android is very user friendly. It's not as complicated as what iOS gives you.
Exactly. So when your iPhone device is locked, or let's say you're like you want to download a song from the internet. So here in India, we're able to download the songs right from the internet. We don't have to buy songs. So when we're out there searching for a song and we want to download it, for example, I have an iPhone. It gives me a link to Google. Sorry, it gives me a
Yeah,
link
yeah.
to iMusic. So which one you buy it?
Now the best thing of what here it is in Android phones is that you can just go to Chrome and download any song for free. But in Apple, in iPhones, you can't do that. You have to go to iTunes and then purchase the song. And Safari is not a stable search engine compared to any other.
Yeah. As we know, as we know, the fate of Apple Maps. The Apple
Yeah,
Maps
tell
is
me.
complicated. So yeah, Apple's come a long way, making the Safari a really good place for people
And
to
and
browse.
Apple also has a gyrometer nowadays.
Yeah, it has pretty good features, the
Mm.
Apple, but I like that. I most of the thing I like with Apple is the FaceTime and the camera. Like mostly when
And now,
using Google Pixel.
one more thing I would like to tell here about FaceTime is you can only use FaceTime if you have an iPhone and if the other person also has only an iPhone.
Yeah,
But
for example,
but Google Duo can be used in any Android device.
and even an iPhone device. Google
Yeah,
has
even
an
an
awesome
iPhone device.
multi-platform support, which gives a really good.
Google is a amazing multinational platform comparing to Apple.
Yeah, so it's
It ha-
debatable that the amount of like difference between the Google Pixel and the iPhone 7 and Hangouts and FaceTime is
yeah, even an iPhone
multi-platform.
device. Multi-platform support gives a really good. Google is amazing.
Okay, now
Can you
let's
stop
talk about.
streaming the video, please? It's disturbing.
Okay, now let's talk about the new trending phones which are coming to the market recently. So now let's talk about Redmi Note 3. So what do you think about Redmi Note 3?
So the Redmi Note 3 is a really good phone. It has a really good build and a fingerprint sensor which is really fast. I don't like the operating system. I mean, it's launcher it comes with, but other than that, everything's smooth as hell. And the camera and the screen is amazing, and the battery life is really good.
Yeah, it has 16 MP camera with 1080p recording. What else do you want? It has 3 GB RAM. It has 4050 mAh battery life.
But it depends upon your usage. It gives you 1 day or it gives maybe 4 days. It depends upon your usage. But Redmi
Yeah,
Note 3 is a very good phone if you ask me.
yeah,
So
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
Redmi Note 3. Talking about Redmi Note 3 reminds me of OnePlus 3T. So this new phone is like what in the market. This phone is amazing. It has like a 5.5-inch 1080p display and there's a 16 MP 4K video recording and 6 GB of RAM. The only smartphone which has 6 GB of RAM.
Yeah,
How
6
awesome
GB.
is that? Where would we want to use 6 GB of RAM?
Sorry?
Where would we want to use 6 GB of RAM?
No, 6 GB of RAM here is a very like it's not yet come to the market. The phone is very new, and
It's way ahead of its time. Nobody uses 6 GB of RAM to for a smartphone nowadays.
yeah, 6 GB is not yet launched, and it's gonna be launched. Even in India, it's gonna be launched soon.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Why do you think OnePlus is trying to hype up the spec market and make like 6 gigabytes of RAM? Why do you think it does that? Does it have to like what's the difference between a 4 gigabyte of RAM and 6 gigabyte of RAM?
Now, in other normal phones, you have 4 gigabyte of RAM, but there you don't get as much speed you get in a 6 gigabyte RAM phones.
Yeah, keeping the speed aside, we cannot utilize? I myself have 3 GB of RAM on my Nexus 6P, and I'm not able to utilize the whole thing. So I go to my settings and check my utilization. So right now I'm on on my this thing. I'm
Yeah.
using 2 GB of RAM out of three. I'm not able.
And 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 talking about iPhone 7 has only 2 GB of RAM comparing to other phones. Only 2 GB,
Yeah, the
and
iPhone
that's too
7
low.
Plus has 3 GB of RAM, but that's
Now
like something else because the
it's like levels. Like iPhone is on 2 GB RAM, and Google Pixels is on 4 GB, and now the next level, next gen is gonna come 6 GB RAM on OnePlus 3T.
so what
But
do you think?
there's a suggestion from my side. 6 GB RAM is
Yeah,
just useless. Why you can't use so much of 6 GB of RAM in such a small smartphone?
Exactly. They have to hype. They have to like decrease the size, make the smartphone a little thinner.
4 GB RAM
And
is awesome. It's enough for the most of the things what you do. You can't consume 4 GB RAM at a time, right?
and one more thing in this in OnePlus 3T is that there is no memory card slot in OnePlus 3T.
the memory card slot is one argument, one plus 3D, but one plus has a
Yeah,
128 GB gigabyte variant which you can buy.
yeah,
I use 64 GB on my phone and I'm not even able to finish half of it. So all I use my phone is for songs and recording videos and yeah, photos mostly. And then I just stream a lot of videos. So maybe a cache takes up like 2 GB and I'm still not able to finish my storage. Why would you want an SD card? Okay,
Mm.
people use it on a daily basis, like for long
and and and
recording.
on the launch of OnePlus 3T, they are launching the phone with Android 6.0 version 6.0 Marshmallow, and
Yeah,
they're planning to update it to Novit. They're not yet updated it.
that's a really good idea. Like so they use Oxygen OS along with the Nougat. Yeah, Nougat's gonna bring a lot of good things with 6 GB of RAM. It's gonna be amazing. So we need
But one thing that
Yeah.
disturbs me in this phone is the resolution. Like it's only 1080 into 1920 pixels. It's not like that high level to match iPhone and our pixels.
yeah. So when the iPhone is like really good and the Pixel is good also. So the iPhone has like more speed, whereas the Google Pixel has more performance. And the feeling you get when you use Android is like divine because it's going to be all animated and it's going to be like it's going to play with you. Google Android's going to play
Yeah.
with you, whereas the iPhone it does not. It just makes you feel like you're using a regular phone, like a regular person. So what do you have to say about that,
You there?
Fayaz?
Yeah.
So
I'm
what do
sorry
you,
I didn't hear you.
Fayaz?
Sham, yeah. I didn't hear you. Can you please
Yeah.
repeat?
So iPhone sevens have like much like better user interface, but Google the Android interface is much friendlier. Do you like mind abbreviating on that? We need Fayaz, any one of you?
Now, comparing to what question you have asked, I don't think I can give some. Maybe Vinith can tell us something.
Actually, I'm not able to get to the question properly. May you repeat it once
Yeah.
more?
So the question is, the iPhones have much better user interface. Not much better, comparatively much, easier to use. But Android, the interface plays with you. You can literally play around with the animations and it's smooth. Why do you think it's so different? Why do you think people prefer iOS over Android or Android over iOS? Why do you think they make the difference?
Actually, iOS and Android was iOS. They made a big gradual change in iOS because iOS actually started in 2003, right? iOS started.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
iPhone 4.
The first iPhone started in 2003. So then, after a few times, iOS, now iPhone 7 is released. So there, I think there are people who are changing now. They're going with Android and iOS. But according to me, Android is. I prefer Android than iOS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Android is much user friendly and it gives you all this customization. So I can install a launcher which can give me much more, like much better user interface than my old and like local user interface.
I ask you, what do you prefer mainly, iOS or Android?
I prefer Android because I can change how it looks. So I mostly buy an Android phone for the customization and the user interface. So it's like it's buttery and it's like it has so many good animations which you cannot miss out. So if you have an iPhone, all you have is like like few boxes with if you have an iPhone 7 or iPhone 6s with a little 3D touch. That's all you get. And now with the Android Nougat, I have something called app shortcuts, which gets me something like 3D touch. That's pretty good. Fayaz, can you expand on this?
Yeah, even my view on whether iOS is better or Android is better is that I would obviously prefer to use Android because if you purchase an iPhone, you have only an iPhone. You can't customize it into different launches and all that stuff. You only have the iPhone launcher and or call the iLauncher. But whereas if you take a Android phone or uh, any Android phone, then you can customize into any other launches like the processors of Samsung, processors of Xiaomi, processors of other many other phones.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
was
Sham and Festech. Say me the whether the Samsung Galaxy S7 is better than the Androids which are running around the market.
so the S7 Edge was a really good phone because of the camera mostly, and then the second most feature is like it's smooth and nice. So Samsung has made a really good job, like done a really good job for the S7.
Once actually, Samsung Galaxy S7. It's a very beautiful phone. Its shape is very beautiful, and the working is pretty good. But I don't like one thing about Samsung really is they take out the battery life. That's one of the things they do in Samsung, according to me, my observations.
The usage of the battery in Samsung, it's like the screen is really good. It's like super AMOLED display, so it tends to get more battery out of the like battery. So what we can use it and optimize it like in few ways. If you have Android Nougat or 6.0, you can like you have these customization called doors and stuff. Can you expand on that, Fayaz?
Yeah, it has a super AMOLED display and it has like 16 million colors. So like
It's
it even
vibrant.
has,
It's really
yeah,
vibrant.
Samsung is the first company to introduce the Edge.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the Edge. They introduced it, I think, maybe in 2014 with the Samsung Galaxy S6.
Yeah. So, did you hear about the Samsung's phone, which is bendable and it's like flexible?
Yeah, where it
Yeah,
So, do you think
but
it's
that
like perfect for our time? Like now, as of 2016, is it like far enough for people like us to use it, like a regular basis, like a person on a regular basis? Do you think you can use it?
no, if he's new to these kind of dope techs, then he's gonna face a big problem in using that. And it's not that these kind of bendable phones are like too cheap in the market, like for 10K or 20K. They range in the prices of 50 to 60K. So it's not a matter to buy for a middle class person. It's not easy to buy that kind of phones. You can
Yeah.
just use a normal phone.
Yeah, so like okay, yeah, you're saying it's way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So let's say it's 2025, and do you think at that moment when everything's like, let's assume it's all wireless and it's all small, when the world you want to make is compact, do you think it's gonna make it?
The first thing I doubt in the year 2025 is the existence of humans on Earth. I like to tell that because world is developing at its peak.
Okay.
It's on its peak of its development, and maybe till 2025 we'll have more compact devices than what we have right now.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the 30-second charging phone? Do you think people require such a huge phone just for like 30 seconds of charging, like right now?
Now, if it is people like Ambani and Malia, they may require that kind of phones, but
Trump.
we are normal people, and we can use other phones.
Yeah, Trump would buy something like that, carrying it around in campaigns, recording to it, and like tweeting about it, tweeting all kinds of stuff all over the world. That kind of stuff is pretty good. But when you need a battery that charges in 30 seconds, you should really be desperate with battery.
Yeah, actually.
So, what do you think about the iPhone 7? Do you think it's gonna like last out there? Do you think it's the best iPhone ever created, or what do you think?
No, I think it's the worst iPhone ever created.
Why do you think so?
Now see, now you have iPhone 6s, okay, and and you have a amazing wired headphone which you have bought it like for 20K or something like that. And what iPhone 7 gives you is a big shock,
Okay.
a very big shock. It just removes off the 3.5 mm headphone jack.
Yeah.
Now what will people do with their 20K headphones?
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
So we require what you're saying is that they're going to cut out every single thing that's good in the phones just to make the phone much better. So
yeah.
what do you think the iPhone 7 it claims to have stereo speaker. So one in the bottom and one in the top. So if the phone's stereo speakers are over here and
Yeah.
another speakers over here, how do you expect it to create a sound that's going to cover like flash to you?
Now see, now if this is a phone and I'm holding it like this, I'm
Yeah.
holding it like this, right?
Yeah.
Here are the speakers. So my hand will cover the speakers and there will be no much sound produced. Now if they are here where you're talking about
Yeah.
on the top of the phone,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be a kind of very smooth way to hold your phone. Because if you hold it in the wrong way, you can't hear any words.
Exactly. So you will be depriving yourself of the sound, and it's waterproof. That's one new upgrade from
Waterproofing in mobile phones is like common nowadays. Even Pixels is waterproof. Even Samsung Galaxy S7 is waterproof.
yeah. Pixel was like supposed to be waterproof, but now it's not. So I don't know why Pixels have no Pixels not waterproof. If it was waterproof, it would be a really good smartphone, and the
Yeah,
underwater camera would have been a revolution.
Pixel is by far one of the amazing cameras seen till now, and Pixels has a very amazing growth, and it has introduced its
Yeah.
new assistant, Google Assistant Allo, just
Okay.
like iPhone has a Siri and Windows has a Cortana.
Okay, yeah. So Siri, so let's make a whole different episode for Siri versus Cortana versus Google now. So what do you think, Fayez? Do you want to call it a day and let's talk tomorrow?
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to be starting a playlist. We're going to be starting a playlist. If you guys are interested, please drop a like and respond to the video. We're always in the comments. And yeah, you can like comment and we're going to reply. One of us is going to reply to you guys.
And
So
we'll also have Q&A sessions if on your requests, on your demands. So please pop up to our views.
yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and it's been a tough ride. And it was our first podcast. Let's call it podcast,
Actually,
the tech podcast. Well, what do we call it?
Tech podcasts. That's a
Tech
good name.
podcast. That's what it is. I'm gonna be linking the stuff in the description, and I have a website, so you guys can check out Fast Tech's website, which is gonna be linked down, and mine's website also. So we all are going to have a website, so you can hit up on us individually or
and subscribe.
find website, or you can like respond on our blogs. So, yep. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Thank you.
See you in the
Sign-
next time. Goodbye for now.
See you.
Good night, guys.